The gelatinous cube. The dumbest monster ever, right? On the surface, the gelatinous cube sounds like a joke. A giant transparent cube that slowly moves down dungeon halls. It's not scary. It's not cool. It's not even fast. So why did it become one of the most iconic monsters in Dungeons and Dragons? It solves a real dungeon problem. Old school dungeons had a big issue. Dead bodies pile up. Trash piles up. Corridors get clogged. The place stops making sense as a living environment. The gelatinous cube is the answer. It's literally a moving garbage disposal system. Eats corpses, cleans hallways, dissolves organic matter, keeps the dungeon functional. This is world building through mechanics, not lore text. It punishes carelessness, not weakness. This is where it gets good. The cube isn't about combat. It's about player behavior. Old school D&D was built on careful movement, mapping, asking questions, watching your surroundings. The gelatinous cube punishes players who stop doing that. You don't die because you're weak. You die because you weren't paying attention. That's pure player skill design. It turns the environment against you. Most monsters attack you. The gelatinous cube is the dungeon attacking you. It blends into corridors. It fills the entire width of the hallway. It's nearly invisible. You don't enter combat. You realize too late that you're already inside the threat. That's horror. It breaks modern expectations. Modern players expect balanced encounters, clear threats, fair warning, combat as the main gameplay. The gelatinous cube ignores all that. It's slow but deadly, obvious in hindsight, invisible in the moment, avoidable but only if you play smart. It's not there to fight you, it's there to catch you slipping. It rewards smart play. The flip side, smart players can spot it early, avoid it completely, use it against enemies, even weaponize it. That's the key difference. Old school design isn't about winning fights. It's about solving problems before they become fights. Why it is genius. The gelatinous cube is genius because it solves a logical world problem, reinforces player skill over character stats, creates tension without needing combat, turns the dungeon itself into a threat, punishes bad habits, and rewards awareness. It does all of that with a slow moving cube. The gelatinous cube isn't a monster, it's a test, and most players fail it the first time. Why rust monsters terrified players. It doesn't kill you, it ruins you. At first glance, the rust monster doesn't look scary. It's not a dragon, it's not undead, it's not some unstoppable killing machine. But it hits players where it hurts the most. Their gear. Weapons gone, armor gone, magic items potentially gone, and in old school D&D, that is worse than taking damage. Gear was your power. In TSR-era play, your character sheet mattered less. Your equipment mattered more. Magic items weren't just bonuses. They were identity and survival. Lose your sword, you're weaker. Lose your armor, you're exposed. Lose your magic gear, you might as well be a low-level character again. Rust monsters don't attack hit points. It attacks progress. It creates immediate panic. Most monsters equals assess the situation. Rust monster equals instant chaos. Players react like this. Don't let it touch me. Back up. Drop metal. kill it now. It forces snap decisions and breaks party coordination. That's real tension. It punishes greed. Old school players loved stacking gear. Better armor, more weapons, more loot. The rust monster flips that on its head. The more geared you are, the bigger the target you become. It's one of the few monsters that makes players think, should I even bring my best stuff into this dungeon? That's design forcing risk versus reward thinking. It changes how you play the game. After one rust monster encounter, players start carrying backup weapons, using non-metal gear, sending less armored characters ahead, being cautious about unknown creatures. One monster permanently changes behavior. That's powerful design. It's not about fairness. Modern mindset. That's unfair. I lose my stuff. Old school mindset. You should have been more careful. The rust monster exists to say, the dungeon doesn't care about your build. It doesn't scale with you. It doesn't protect you. It doesn't respect your investment. Why it's genius. The rust monster works because it attacks what players actually value. Creates panic without high damage, forces long-term behavioral change, introduces real risk to success and progress, punishes over-reliance on gear. It doesn't need to kill you, it just needs to leave you alive with nothing. Players don't fear the rust monster because it kills them. They fear it because it takes everything they worked for. The Mimic was one of the most brutal designs in TSR Dungeons and Dragons. It attacks players' instinct. The Mimic doesn't just trick characters, it tricks players. Every player is trained to think. Chest equals reward. Door equals progress. Object equals interaction. The Mimic turns that against you. The moment you act like a player, you get punished. It weaponizes curiosity. Old school Dungeons and Dragons runs on curiosity. What's in the chest? What's behind the door? What does this do? The Mimic makes curiosity dangerous. Now every decision becomes, do I check it? Do I risk it? Do I ignore it? That slows the game down in a good way. It forces physical interaction consequences. Most monsters attack you in combat. The Mimic triggers when you touch the world. You open, it attacks. You grab, you're stuck. You lean in, you're already caught. It punishes interaction itself. That's rare design. It teaches paranoia, and that's intentional. After one Mimic, players start doing this. I poke it with a pole. I check for traps. I don't trust this room. That's not accidental. The Mimic exists to train players into slower, smarter, more cautious play. It changes the entire game world. Before Mimics, objects are neutral. After Mimics, everything is suspect. Chest, doors, furniture, none of it is safe anymore. The dungeon stops being a place you explore and becomes a place that lies to you. Why it's genius. The Mimic works because it punishes assumption instead of stats, makes interaction risky, forces long-term behavioral change, turns rewards into threats, teaches players to think before acting. It doesn't overpower you, it outsmarts you. The Mimic isn't dangerous because it's strong, it's dangerous because it makes you question everything. Why simple monsters terrified old school players? These monsters weren't terrifying because they were powerful. They were terrifying because they were simple, and that's the part modern design doesn't understand. Simple equals clear purpose. Old school monsters weren't overloaded with abilities. They had one job, and they did it brutally well. Gelatinous cube, punish inattention. Rust monster, destroy your progress. Mimic, punish assumptions. No clutter, no filler. Just one idea, executed perfectly. They targeted the player, not the character. Modern design attacks your skills. Old school design attacked you. Your habits, your decisions, your awareness. If you messed up, it wasn't bad luck, it was on you. They created fear without needing power. None of these monsters are impressive in a straight fight. That's the point. The fear comes from losing your gear, walking into a trap, realizing too late what's happening. It's psychological, not mechanical. They changed how you played. This is the real reason they worked. After encountering these monsters, players slow down, ask more questions, think before acting, respect the dungeon. One encounter changes behavior permanently. That's design that sticks. No safety net. Old school D&D didn't protect players. No encounter balancing, no guarantees. No, this is fair, because it's not. If you made a mistake, you paid for it, and because of that, every decision mattered. Simple monsters worked because they didn't try to do everything. They did one thing, and they made sure you'd never forget it. That's why old school players were afraid. Not because the monsters were stronger, but because the game expected them to be smarter.